The 2 Cent Report! And good morning, good night. I can't remember the exact line from Truman Show. This is the 2 Cent Report with two people. Each are 1 cent. There is me, 1 cent Justin, and also my wonderful co-host, Mr. 2 Cent. What's your name again?
2 Cent, I'm more than you. No. Welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm 1 cent Tristan.
Oh yes, of course, you're also at 1 cent. Together we make 2 cents. Otherwise it would be 3 cents.
Talking to you from across the theoretical acquisitions plane.
Yes, although I kind of...
Povertyverse.
Exactly. The Povertyverse is going to be a huge thing. We're going to merchandise into poverty t-shirts. There's those ones you've been wearing for 3 years. They got holes all over them. We'll sell those. Out-of-date jokes and out-of-date fashion. It'll be really good.
Oh yeah, we have to have out-of-date jokes. I mean, that's why the people come here. Not for information, but to hear us spout absolute nonsense.
No, because information's for fucking nerds.
Yeah, exactly. We're here for entertainment.
No, exactly. There's no other reason that I would talk to you.
Cut me deep.
Always. Because I'm a new age man. I don't ever do old stuff, as you know. So I just recently finished playing Fallout 3 again.
Fallout 3, nice.
Yeah, it was good. It's
good.
Replaying it though, I go, wow, Obsidian did a much better job. But
yeah, but of course you're gonna say that. That's the usual, I find completely okay. If there's anything I can ever complain about Fallout 3 is that someone at Bethesda decided, you know what? I don't know how Zoom functions work, so I'm just gonna Mr. Bean Zoom whenever I wanna focus on an enemy. I'm just gonna Mr. Bean Zoom. Whoop whoop.
The thing that actually occurred to me the most was getting into that game and realizing whenever you get to a new town, there's literally fucking nothing to do anywhere. And I remember just going to places and being like, wow, it's literally just nothing. There's nothing. New Vegas, every place is unique and has people to talk to and shit to get done. Here you just get to places and you're like, yeah, there's nothing here. It's just a big pile of buildings and there's one person who can heal you, someone who can sell to you, and a bartender.
Yes, but you have to you have to give them some slack in this regard. Mainly because they were busy working to implement all the bugs they could before launch.
True. It's dedication.
Yes. Only people working for the majestic Todd Howard could ever put in that much time and effort to put so much bugs in for our enjoyment. I mean, come on. It
is, and I find it offensive that people think otherwise. People are disgusting, thinking that they're just phoning it in.
No, of course not. They put time and effort into that thing. Do you know how long it takes to actually make a bug that passes the testers?
That's true.
I mean, they have to work long and hard to disguise this bug as a feature and then make sure that everybody knows that this bug is actually a feature. And then maybe they can get away with it. And not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes they get caught out.
I was thinking of making a Rad Roach joke, because you're talking about bugs, and I didn't know how to implement the joke, so I just left it out. But now I'm telling you about it. So, that's humor.
Uh-huh. That's the... You missed everything about how to tell a joke, but yes, that is humor. Anyway, we're here to actually discuss things regarding games that isn't whatever he gets onto in his free time.
I get onto all sorts of people. So,
bastard.
We can get started on the news then. The first thing is it's not something sad, it's not something depressing, it's just one of those ones you go, oh, okay. Steam just reached a new record high for concurrent players. 27 million people playing at once. So, well done, Steam. You're continuing to be the main PC people. Well done.
And they did it without hemorrhaging money.
Very true. Very true. I think they actually did it by making money, which I think that's something that like Epic should look into.
I mean, if you're a developer, you're still making bank because Epic still has to pay for all the lost revenue. So
yeah. No, I'm just talking about Epic, not the people who are on Epic. They're having a great time.
The best of times.
The best of times. So yeah, that's just something small. I just saw it and I was like, oh, I remember when the pandemic was still like in full swing. This happened like 3 times over the course of like a week period where they were like, there's a new concurrent record, and they were like, there's a new one, there's a new one now. I guess people were staying home during the deadly pandemic and playing video games like a bunch of nerds. Well, me, I wasn't doing nerd things. I was out having sex with myself. It was good.
The best kind of sex.
Best kind of sex. He really knows me. So, yeah, that's something small. But going from a very successful platform to a less successful platform, and we're not talking about Epic, GOG.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Origin.
No. Ew. GOG. So GOG obviously is CD Projekt Red's one. And for those who don't know, it sort of specializes mostly in old games. You can get new games, but it's got like a lot of old things on it.
Just a disclaimer, just because they have old games doesn't mean they always work. Because they do patches. GOG does do patches to patch out games to make them work on the later operating systems. However, it doesn't mean that every game will work because they're only human.
Exactly.
That's what I read in the report.
Well, from what CD Projekt Red has posted, it looks like the company itself is doing okay, as in CD Projekt, but GOG isn't doing quite as well. It's posted some losses, but we'll just have to see what happens there. But
just lost to sales because
yeah, it just seems
piracy.
I don't know. It just seems like they said they've reported a loss of 4.8 million on revenue, which but I have to see. Hopefully, apparently there's going to be next gen versions of CD Projekt of Cyberpunk 2077, which I'm sure everyone's excited about. But then, of course, they're also doing a next gen version of The Witcher 3, which will probably bring in more money. I just have this feeling that The Witcher 3 is going to be CD Projekt Red's Skyrim. They'll just release it again with each new generation.
I'm not too worried about that personally, mainly because you see with games like that, the only reason why I can make fun of Skyrim releasing on every platform they could possibly release on, and then still release the same game year after year after year. That is fine still, because there's for Skyrim there's a bigger modder community, which means that people that are buying it for the first time get to experience the game on the latest platform, and people that have the game can still enjoy the game, because even on console there are mods now because of special edition, right? With The Witcher, it's more immersion and vanity mods. There's no actual like new story quests and stuff like that I've seen that really stand out. And I hope it doesn't become their cash cow in that sense. Mainly because then it will prevent them, because of the backlash of releasing Cyberpunk, they might just want to finish off Cyberpunk and then kind of hide in that old burrow and just re-release Witcher, which kind of then takes away their appeal for me, for them constantly releasing new games, trying new things out, making mistakes and hopefully learning from it. It's like watching a little baby grow that you don't have to attend to. So if the child does end up killing themselves, you can be like, that wasn't me. Yeah,
and
I
it's a
saw
little
it
and it's a
go
little
down.
Polish baby, so you can be like, oh, look at the little pole.
The little pole.
But yeah, that's the GOG news. There actually really isn't that much news overall. I think because we're getting closer and closer to the end of the year, companies are less willing to do things. Usually takes a while. It's usually like the December and January periods are usually quite like empty, and then it sort of picks up again in Feb. End of January, beginning of Feb. So there's not that much happening.
So what you're telling me is there's not enough cocaine snorting CEOs still conscious around this time.
Well, I mean, we do still have Activision Blizzard news later, but
I mean, sure. I mean, that's inevitable. I don't think that's ever going to die down. You know.
Well, actually, how about this? We'll first start off. Well, we've already started off, but I'll do like a little sneak peek kind of thing. Later on, the 2 Cent Report. Acquisitions, AK-47s, pedophilia, blockchain, and Activision Blizzard.
Ooh, nice.
Should be interesting stuff.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Let's do this. Enough.
So
let's go.
I kind
said
of
report.
I did. 2 Cent Report. I did maybe somewhat have to scrape the bottom of the barrel to get an acquisition. We have 2 acquisitions, but they're really small. Well, I mean, if I had this amount of money, I could live forever without ever having to work.
Let's move on.
$42 million, which is, small in terms of a lot of these other things. But the Zordix game group, I don't know them, but they acquired Maximum Games. And Maximum Games is one of those companies that takes the like indies and then gives them a physical retail release. So they did that for like Among Us and Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they sort of consider themselves a AA publisher, which, cool, whatever. But yeah, now they've been taken on by this big Zordix game group who are like, we want you to now do AAA things. So cool, they can do that. I don't know these people, and I don't really know anything about the games they make.
Can do it, because my problem with that whole thing is that when you tend to give AA studios AAA and they're not ready for it yet, you get shit. I'm just gonna say you get shit.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't even know if this will ever come up again. But oh well. The next thing, however, and that's actually quite funny because I'm pretty sure, I think it was last week, that we had this company again, and they're one that you work with, Unity. Unity has acquired something else.
Yes.
Something called Sync Sketch, which is a real-time collaborative tool. From what it looks like, it seems like what's that thing called where you can use someone else's computer? That remote
desktop.
It's a remote desktop. It seems like it's kind of like that, but yeah, they can work together for It seems to be 4 artists here for 2D imagery, video, 3D models, and more. Yeah, I don't know this stuff, so, but last week we spoke about how they bought Waiter Digital, who were the one made by Peter Jackson. This seems to be a much smaller acquisition, also because they haven't given an amount, so I'm sure that'll help some devs. So cool.
Well, I hope it does. I mean, if it's an opportunity, they can't squander it.
Yeah.
So no, I hope it helps them. By all means.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of faith, personally, because I'm old school. I know it's wrong, but I'm old school. I like all this collaborating and the old thing of too many chefs and stuff like that. Not saying that this would be one of those cases, just cautionary, just being cautious.
Well, we will see. Hopefully it helps some people. I'm sure it'll help someone. Well, we're back to the fun time stuff because we have Nintendo, my favorite company. It wasn't like I once wrote something with, I can't remember the exact title, but it was something like, "Why do I hate Nintendo so much?" I love Nintendo. They're a beautiful company. So it seems they maybe have a slight bit of a problem with hiring women. A report came out that apparently in Japan, a whole 5% of managers are women, which is lower than I think most people would expect. That's like really fucking low. So, ooh, shit.
I mean, let's look at Nintendo titles. They're not really a equality kind of thing. They got a very misogynistic theme to most of their games. You know, big bad guy steals woman. Burlier good guy goes and saves woman. Woman happy. Woman snoo. You know.
And it's just got an Italian.
I mean, an Italian and a, I want to call him an elf. Or,
I suppose.
But basically an elf with a porcelain fetish.
Yes, but I mean that's also my fetish, so I don't think you should shame him, Tristan.
No. I'm not shaming the fact that he's got one. I'm just saying, like, the choices of the family-friendly brand that is Nintendo.
This is so typical of you, Tristan. Accusing people of weird fetishes and telling them they should die. You are so...
Look. Whether they should die or not is completely up to them. I'm just merely suggesting an alternative outcome.
True.
If you want to put me in that light, I'll just embrace it.
But
you're the reason why we're getting demonetized this time, not me.
Well, I mean, earlier I said pedophile, so I suppose that's a way to get demonetized quickly. But that's going to come up later. So that's a nice little
That's what the pedophile said.
Anyway, Nintendo has promised that they will do better.
They will do better. Oh.
Which this is literally what fucking everyone always says. But anyway.
That's what I'm like, oh, they will do better. Oh.
So we'll see. They're Nintendo. They're stuck in their ways. Okay, do you know who Geoff Keighley is?
No clue.
Okay, so you know the Game Awards?
Yes.
Okay, Geoff Keighley's the guy behind the Game Awards. He's like the presenter guy. He's been in fucking games forever. And the Game Awards are coming up soon. I think they're like next week or something. I can't remember. But people were like, okay, so you're starting your, rollout to be like, these are the things that are going to be, nominated at the Game Awards. Have a look. And a bunch of those games were Activision Blizzard games. And people were like, so you're cool with all the abuse and stuff? And Keeley was like, we don't take sides in this.
Okay, so he's taking that approach.
And then there was such backlash that he then very quickly sort of was like, we do not condone any kind of, abusive behavior, whatever. So Activision Blizzard will not be, that their games have been nominated, but they will not be involved whatsoever in the Game Awards. We promise. And then people pointed out, that there's a Activision Blizzard executive on the board of the Game Awards, right? Also a Ubisoft one, and they're also abusers. So, are you going to
Yeah. But the thing is, we can't prove that those particular people are abusers.
True. But so that was just a little bit of cowardice, which is always good to see. It lightens the load, makes the spirit nice and hungry. I don't know.
I agree with you. Very hungry spirits out there.
Oh, very hungry spirits. I eat them daily. But yeah, so that's our Geoff Keighley news. It's not very interesting. It's a non-news story, but this is what's happening now. It's December. There's mostly non-news stories. However, the next one is really interesting. Do you remember that I said AK-47? So, this story is about Kalashnikov, the company, what's actually called Kalashnikov, what's the actual name of this company now? Kalashnikov Concern, which makes it sound like they're concerned about Kalashnikovs, but that's actually just the name of the company that makes them. They obviously don't make AK-47s anymore. AK-47 is like a fucking ancient weapon. Like, people don't really use them anymore, unless, you're getting like old shit, because judging by the name, if you know how naming conventions work, AK-47 was developed in 1947. So if you're still using a gun from just after World War II, you have shit guns. But anyway, seems there's a little bit of a... Yeah?
If it works, it works. It's not stupid, okay?
Say what you like, man. So, a small indie studio called Oceanic... Oh, no, sorry. The game they made is called Oceanic. It's a company called Ward B. They designed some weapons for their game, Oceanic, and it seems that those guns with those designs have showed up as actual guns made by Kalashnikov. And this little studio came out being like, the fuck? Did you just steal our designs to make real guns? And it's just a weird story. Kalashnikov has just said, no, we didn't do any of this. We made up this design. It's ours. And they wouldn't respond to certain things. So it's just really interesting. And this company is now trying to sue Kalashnikov. So cool. Weird story.
Wasn't there something like that where okay, there's this one game studio or game that's infamous for stealing game art. I was watching a video on it, they literally change it just enough so it can't be similar, but it's fucking similar.
Yeah.
And they've been getting away with, and it's probably a shitty mobile game as well, because that's the kind of shit that mobile games would do.
Yeah, but it's weird. But it's weird to hear Kalashnikov, the people that made the AK-47, being like, "We didn't steal your designs from your video game."
I mean, if anybody did, it was definitely not us.
Just because the gun looks similar and has a similar everything doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. And you can't prove anything because it's just not their fault. It's really weird. Sometimes you find that real life sometimes mimics fiction.
Yeah. Sometimes. And it's interesting when it happens. It's quite great.
Yeah. And then people have the audacity to accuse them of copying.
No. And how dare you say that a company that makes guns would do something immoral? Just...
Remember, it's not the company that's at fault. It's the people who use the guns that are at fault.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Just because I make a bomb and someone else detonates it doesn't mean that I'm at fault here, okay? It means that person needs to be held responsible, and, this is why we have waivers.
Exactly.
Anyway,
the next thing is also very, very fun. I still don't actually know what the fuck they're saying. I don't understand what the fuck they're talking about. But Kickstarter, if you remember Kickstarter, no one seems to have mentioned them for quite a while. But Kickstarter has decided that from now on, Kickstarter is on the blockchain. I don't know how.
That's cool. Kickstarter's on the blockchain, but how were they on the blockchain?
So it says, yeah, I'll read, because maybe you understand more, you know more about that stuff than I do. So it says, yeah, this is instead of crowdfunding by acting as a payment processor in between creators and possible backers, it hopes to build an open source crowdfunding tool that uses blockchain technology to log payments as a separate company. I don't really know. Yeah,
okay, well, good for them. I don't know how to. I don't know if it's a good idea or for bad. I don't know a lot about I don't know enough, I would say, about blockchain to be like, oh my god, how could they have done this? This is the worst idea. Everything was going fine until they started this whole blockchain. I don't know. I can't say that on either side. So I'm gonna go and say, interesting. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll see what it does.
What chain that they're using? Are they using a private chain? Or are they using?
Yeah, it says a blockchain a platform called Celo or Cello. I don't know. It if it had one extra L, it would be Cello, but it's CELO, so Celo. I don't know.
Okay, like cello, like cellulose.
I suppose, but one L. Because I think cellulose also has two L's. I don't know. I'm just going to be quiet now. But yeah, so that's what they're doing. I don't really know what benefits of it would be, but they can do their thing. Now, most of the time, whenever we talk about the industry being abusive, it's usually being abusive to other people. Maybe, trying to rape someone, or in one case, Activision Blizzard leading someone or pushing someone so much until they committed suicide. But you don't often hear about pedophiles in the games industry. So,
I mean,
we have one now.
Because most of them are adults that they're preying on.
Pretty much, yes. So, people who already work for them.
Like, the one thing you don't want is for somebody working in a game company. Okay, you don't want a pedophile in general, but like when it gets closer to kids. That's when alarm bells need to start ringing,
Generally. But yeah, so there's this George Casipio, I don't know, whatever, senior vice president at Sony Interactive Entertainment. He's a PlayStation man, so that's not great. And yeah, it seems that there was a sort of a pedophile sting operation to try and catch pedophiles, and they caught him, and yeah, so he's now been fired. It isn't also funny how
did they catch him? Did they like dangle a child and just?
Oh, they posed as an underage boy on online,
and then they found a pedophile and they tracked him back to the company, or did they know that there was a pedophile inside the company?
Actually, I think that they just tracked. I think. Okay, so yeah, so it seems like they basically, it was this group that tries to find them, and so yeah, they're baiting. They're actually looking for people. So yeah, that was a whoopsie doodle on his part, but yeah, it was on Grindr. And they knew that.
Wait, shouldn't the fact that children are on Grindr should be also questioned? I mean, I'm not questioning that. I'm actually saying how stupid he is for going on Grindr and looking for children. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think it's the best idea. But yeah, so he's been fired. But also, isn't it strange, interesting how they're like,
you gotta be kidding me. I can't believe that.
Isn't it strange that they're like, okay, cool, he's a pedophile, we're going to immediately fire him, but they're like, oh no, but you raped one of your employees. We'll just move you to a new department. It's fine. We're not going to fire you. You're a friend. It's kind of lovely double standards that we have in the industry.
Oh, of course. I mean, we have so many double standards. I mean, I don't have anything to say on that. That's how bad.
Yeah, that's
the
what
double standards are. I mean,
it's what it is. But yeah, so that's not great. But yeah, he's been fired. So I mean, that's all they can do.
Great. That's
they
great.
Did the right
fact
thing.
that he's been fired, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. But now we arrive at our old friend Activision Blizzard. Have you heard any of the news coming out of Activision Blizzard in the last bit?
I actually honestly tried to tune out.
Okay.
Like I was getting so upset because you know me, like growing up, Activision not so much. I mean, they made. Activision did make interesting games when they were starting. You know,
I mean, the old Call of Duties are fucking great.
I mean, I'm talking about even before the old Call of Duties. They made.
Didn't they do that Tony Hawk games as well?
I don't.
I think they did. I'm going to look.
I don't know, but I know they did things like did they publish it or something? I'm also looking it up, but I remember them doing games that weren't just shooters.
Yeah, and I was right. They did publish.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater
HD.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at notable games. No, they published a fuckload. They published Doom 3.
I mean, I'm not talking about publish. I'm talking about actually contributed to society. They.
To be fair, they haven't actually like designed anything themselves. They're a publisher. They have companies that do it for them.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, you know, they kind of had a presence for me, and then I kind of they kind of just fell out of it. I mean, they made Guitar Hero, and that was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
By all accounts, and then you got, you know, Blizzard, which I love because they had this whole cinematic world. The art was good. They looked like they were genuinely enjoying themselves. And if you go on LinkedIn, they still look like they're enjoying themselves, even in this situation that they're in. But yeah, I mean, whenever I think about that, I'm just like, no.
Actually, also one for you, Prototype. They published Prototype.
Yes, that's also true. And it's like, it's kind of having that hero, and then when you finally meet them, they're just crying in a corner in their own feces, begging people to acknowledge them, and you're just like, okay.
Yes, I remember when I met Christopher Lee. That was quite a...
No. The man's a national treasure. Leave him alone.
Yeah, he's dead, but, you know, it's fine.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'd watch a movie with Christopher Lee playing with his own shit. Could be good. You never know. It's Christopher Lee. He's great. He's dead, but he's
Don't
great.
try to suck up now. You already said the no words.
I'm just saying maybe he's a scat fetishist. Leave him alone. So...
What, like Amadeus, Mozart?
No, he just liked to sing about it. Well, he didn't actually sing. He composed something about it.
I mean, but weren't there letters with him and his whole family into this joke? I guess you could say it was.
Well, I know he made a song. It's in German, so the name sounds really funny. As soon as you know Afrikaans, you'll be able to say kiss. It means kiss my ass, I think. Piece of classical music. Oh yes, no, it's lick mich im Arsch. Lick my ass.
Sexy.
So yeah, that's
yeah. Anyway, moving on from that interesting.
Yes, Activision Blizzard. As you know, they're now a French company. I'm just going to amalgamate them with Ubisoft. So, things weren't going great. Obviously, as we know, a quick recap, there was a lawsuit that happened because of all the abuse, and then people started leaving, and then they started kicking people out because of all the abuse, and then more abuse came out, and it was like, oh shit. And then
we heard that you're abusing people. Yes, get the fuck out of here.
And then it turns out Bobby Kotick knew about it. And also right before people learned about that, the board was like, we're taking a zero tolerance policy. And then it turned out Bobby Kotick knew, and they were like, from today.
Now we're taking zero tolerance.
Yeah, now it's zero tolerance, but not with Bobby. He's a friend. And then...
He's an angel. He's not going to do anything.
Yeah, have you seen him? He's beautiful. And then a name... I'm pretty sure we actually mentioned this name a while back. Because we were like, when last have we heard this name? Raven Software. if you remember Raven Software.
I don't, unfortunately.
Raven Software, I just remember the name, and I'm so sure I have this weird feeling that. Do you remember me going on and on about a while back? Star Trek Elite Force?
Yes.
I have a feeling they made Star Trek Elite Force. Let me just check though.
Just to, confirm your sources there.
Yes. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, they made Heretic, Hexen 2.
I have played a Raven Software.
I was fucking right. Star Trek Elite Force.
Shame, man. You can't blame them for doing what they do best.
Quake 4.
They made Quake 4?
They made Singularity.
Ah, there's the get. Wait. They made Singularity.
Yeah, and they made that 2009 Wolfenstein game.
The 2009 one? Care to elaborate?
There was a Wolfenstein game that people seem to forget existed. Yeah, there was just a Wolfenstein game that came out in 2009. It was an attempt to restart Wolfenstein because the last one had been returned to Castle Wolfenstein, and it just didn't really pick up.
Okay. Oh, wait. That was the one with the blue.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Because I was like, I remember Wolfenstein, and obviously Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I remember that. I remember that quite vividly now.
But then, ever since it seems, I think this is why they fell off my radar. Ever since when is it? Yeah, 2000. Yeah, ever since 2010, they've been working as a backup studio to Treyarch and Infinity Ward while they were making Call of Duty games and Sledgehammer. So it seems like they just assisted with Call of Duty games. But basically, what happened with Raven Software? So Raven Software is owned by Activision. And Activision was talking for a while saying, okay, so we're looking at doing a pay restructure because we want to be able to pay the QA workers more. So things are looking quite good. They spoke about this and they just hired new people. And then they were like, okay, so do you remember how we said we were going to increase your pay? And it was like, yes, cool. So you're all being laid off.
What? They just laid off the new staff.
Not just the new staff, they laid off a lot of people. It was bad. And it was out of nowhere. People were like, what the fuck? No one was expecting it.
Do they have plans to use an AI to do all the work? Or what's... You know what I mean? Like, holy shit. Someone fucked up.
Yeah.
Someone fucked up big time. And to hire... But wait. Didn't that happen before with a company where they were like, no, nobody's getting laid off. And then all of a sudden, people are given the severance.
But yeah, so a whole bunch of people were laid off, it seemed. And then basically, as soon as that happened, Activision Blizzard's been, in the news lately. And things aren't going so well for them, and people are getting really pissed off at them. And so now there's starting to be walkouts. There's walkouts at Raven Software, and also a bunch of people from other places like Treyarch. A bunch of them just did walkouts to be like, yeah, we're not gonna work. At the moment, it seems like Activision Blizzard's digging their heels in. But the thing that happens, and this was pointed out recently. I saw, is that we have very short memories as humans, especially in the games industry. We forget about these things. People have completely forgotten about the Ubisoft stuff. I think that our first episode, we spoke about the shit going on at Ubisoft, and then Ubisoft just kind of covered their heads and were like, okay, cool, let's just wait it out. And people forgot about it. And then people got all excited about the new Far Cry. Shit keeps happening at Activision Blizzard. So I think it's hard, and you're just dude, if you just paid attention to Ubisoft, you could have escaped this. Instead, you have to go and fire a bunch of people. It's not looking good, man. No one likes you at the moment.
No, I'm 100%. It's not looking good, and I think personally, it's only gonna get worse because what's the next step? Honestly, they're gonna fuck up again. We all know this. We're all waiting for the fuck up to happen. It's just that how much can they stack? Like, how high of a shit pile can you stack before people go, that looks like a shit pile. I'm not going to go there.
Well, we're going to have to see.
Is it like going to be like on the scale of Jurassic Park? Because people looking for anything good about these companies right now kind of feels like Jurassic Park 3 when Dr. Grant is digging inside the pile of shit for the satellite phone. That's kind of how it feels when people try to bring up anything good about these companies at the moment.
Maybe it'll be like, all the people who've been laid off come back as zombies, and then there's a whole big thing. It could be.
I kind of want them to just say fuck it and go find another job, or the more bigwigs that get laid off. The ones that aren't executive staff. Maybe they just pool their resources and make their own studios. I mean, this is the perfect time. The crash of the megacorps, then create a whole lot of smaller businesses that then fill up the competition requirements, making games, first of all, release at a better quality, and it will promote creative thinking again, coming up with concepts that are different to what we already have, try to challenge that. And I think that's the great part about these companies fucking up now, is because people are not gonna find jobs within them, and they're gonna have to find jobs elsewhere, and entrepreneur orientated people are going to start their own companies and start producing stuff, but then obviously they're going to have to compete. Competition is good. It's good in our pockets, and it's good for the industry's health. So I'm hoping for that solution, to just watch these big corporations crumble like Rome.
Oh, this is unrelated to anything, but apparently there's a thing going around on TikTok I've just heard about that. Yeah, I learned about this because it came up on Twitter. Apparently some TikTok people are claiming that the Roman Empire never existed.
Oh, no, come on. I mean, there's so many games about it.
I mean, I can understand, say, someone coming out and being like, the Romans were kind of shit. Because, I mean, the Caesar's Legion is literally based on what they were like. They were like shit, but they did exist. So I don't know where the fuck
you
this
can't
comes
just
from.
cancel them out like, oh yeah, this Roman Empire, they don't exist. It's all fake news. Fake news, everybody. Absolute fucking tripe.
But yeah, that's unrelated. But I just remember that now, and that was really funny. So that is everything. Well, there's actually still one last news story. I told you it's a very slow time. This one I left to last just because it's a thing which I always bang on about. This is preservation. A game I had always wanted to play, but it was only single. It was only multiplayer, so I was like, I don't want to. And I haven't played the sequel, and apparently the sequel is like one of the best shooter campaigns, like ever. Titanfall, the first one though. It is being basically they're shutting off the servers. And rather than being like, cool, community servers or, anything like that, they're just pulling the game from stores. So it's just going to be gone.
You're joking.
Yeah.
They're just... why?
Yeah. They're just going to pull them all from stores.
Why? What did...
I guess,
I'm sorry, I'm just...
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is that, like, the game, obviously, it's a bit old now. I think it came out in 2013, the first one. And there's just not as many people playing it anymore. But rather than just fucking letting people do it, they were like, oh no, we're just gonna get rid of it. I will never understand these people, like, because you can literally have a multiplayer game lasting forever if you just say, oh no, people can set up their own servers.
Yeah.
And people do that. That's how, like, a lot of old games fucking live. I mean, I know that you can still get people playing, like, multiplayer of, like, the first Quake. And I doubt that id is still fucking has, like, dedicated servers for those anymore. So, yeah.
It's a little upsetting. I'm not gonna lie.
It's shit. Did you ever play Titanfall?
No. I didn't get an opportunity to.
Yeah, it's. So it says they're gonna stay up till. Yeah, so it's still going to be for a while, but it says, yeah, it will remain on sale until the 1st of March next year, which I'm also like, if you're planning on fucking pulling it from stores, take it down for sale now, you pricks.
I mean, like, luckily it will always exist in the pirate space.
True.
Hopefully.
Very true.
I mean, the problem that I really had was, things. I mean, I ranted on about Destiny 2 and them removing the most influential part of it in my eyes. Mm-hmm. But I mean, what are you gonna like? You can bitch about it as much as you want, but at the end of the day, it really is their say.
Yeah.
Or is it not? Did I miss something?
No, you did. Okay. You got it. No, but it's just
disheartening to know that people aren't looking for preservation. At the same time, as people like to claim, for instance, if you archive it, they will no longer make money off of it. Like some games that are archived, then people have access to, and they can just download it for free. And
yeah,
I guess this is the time when we rely on piracy to archive it. And it's sad that companies are forcing us to rely on piracy to do that.
Yeah. No, it's shit. I've seen more and more people sort of basically having those same sentiments of just being like, no, I mean, what else are we supposed to do? It's just shit. It sucks.
It's shit throughout.
But that's the way it is. But that's actually it.
The cookie crumbles.
It's there hasn't really been that much.
I mean, honestly, I think it has. Just my thoughts on the matter. I think it actually has been pretty good. Although I'm relatively optimistic when it comes to these things. The reason why I said is that nothing substantially good has happened, but also the amount of bad has also been reduced. So I guess it's good that we don't have any news to report, but at the same time, it's kind of sad because we like reporting news. It's our thing.
It is our thing. This is our fetish.
Yes, exactly. Please, how about we call it something else?
Cum material?
No. How about we just call it? It's our thing.
Like a vibrator. Cool. Cool.
You just. Justin.
I'm
never
sticky.
Stop being you. That's all I ask. Is never stop being you.
I'll never stop because then I'll die. I don't want that.
From my side, I guess this is the part where we talk about things that we've been up to. From my side, the games I've been playing. I tried. I bought, just because I talk a lot about piracy, but I never actually mentioned the games that I buy. I've bought Gunfire Reborn. Very cool little shooter. Yeah, I like it. It's fun. It's challenging. With friends, it gets even better. And because everything's kind of like random, the experience changes. Some days you can make it through all the levels to the boss and kill him. Other days you will die on the second level. Really fun game to play, and I've been enjoying it. Although it has run its course because I've kind of gone through it so many times. Yeah, I've really been enjoying that game. Been playing it a lot. I know you said that you were playing Fallout 3, so I'll just mention that games I've also been trying out. I'm actually replaying The Outer Worlds again because it's a fantastic game, and
I still need to play it.
Oh, it's fucking amazing. I'm replaying that again. I also played Evoland. For those who don't know, Evoland is basically a tribute to the evolution of games. if you like stuff like that, I recommend checking it out. GOG's got a really nice deal or price on it. Also, Steam also has a good price on it for the Legendary Edition. The reason why you want the Legendary Edition, because it has both Evoland 1 and 2 in it. And I think it's great. I mean, you start off in this, like, pixelated, monotone world. You know, like how the first Pokemon looked? You start off like that, and you only have the ability to go right. And you have to go right, and then you unlock the ability to go left. And what's brilliant is watching how they update. You get free movement, you get 3D when you go from 2D to 3D. It's amazing, and then you unlock better textures. And it's just a nice, pleasant homage to everything. I mean, I know sometime, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I showed you it was at a point where they were basically doing a tribute to Dungeon Crawlers and Diablo as the main one, but you know, you got the pot of health. Now you had your pot of health, and the armor is just so. I had a good laugh reading all the stats. The armor is useless, but each armor is a little Easter egg for different games of that they just want to make a shout out to. So yeah, been really enjoying that. Finished both 1 and 2. A little bit sad because the games are relatively short in comparison, but it's a nice thing to play. Just to have a little chuckle at it. If you like this kind of games, I thought it was fun. Another game I got into actually was Stick It to the Stickman, and I've been loving that. If anybody gets a chance, it is open source, so you can just download it. I do recommend you donate to the person who made it, because I mean, they did create it and they technically giving it out for free. So if you can donate, if you don't want to, fine, be that way. But yeah, Stick It to the Stickman, really fun game. Also one of those games where you can just relax, you know, listen to music, watch a movie in the background, and kill stickmen. Yeah, it's really fun. Like, it gets really addictive. What's nice is that your moveset is not predetermined. You unlock, you can add things to your moveset. So you'll get a kick, a punch, and then when you finish a round and you get enough experience, you unlock a different play style or class. Like, my favorite one is the Weeb, because not the name, but the fact is you get a knife. So you can kick, punch, and throw a knife. And the knife is so satisfying because when it hits somebody, it pegs them, they just drop, and it feels good. And then later on, you basically upgrade these abilities to the next level, and the higher you go up, it's just fun. It's basically about a stickman that works for a stickman company. I don't want to give away the fucking funny start of it, but you work at the stickman company, and you're like in the basement, like below the parking garage, and you basically just fight your way all the way up to the top, where I assume the CEO is. But I've never gotten that far, so I've tried. Like, the game gets difficult, but I've tried. Definitely a game to check out if you can. I loved it. Yeah, and that's basically what I've been playing for the time that we haven't seen each other. You haven't heard my soothing voice over the interwebs.
No, I need to get back to... So I was just in a rut, and that's why I decided, let's play Fallout 3. I know I like it. Now I need to get back to actually playing some new shit.
Ukulele really hit you hard, hey?
I know, right? Now I'm like, okay, games I have to play: Get in the Car, Loser, Ghost of a Tale, Kentucky Route Zero, Killer 7, The Sexy Brutale, Stasis, and yeah. And Stasis is a South African game. I've been wanting to play it for ages.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like a South African... I think it's sort of point-and-click adventure-y, meets Fallout, like old Fallout 1 and 2. And it's sort of set on a spaceship. I think it's got quite a bit of inspiration from things like Alien. I'll play it before I recommend it, so I still can't say, but it's got good reviews. And also, actually, they just released a game. I almost got the chance to review it, but then I didn't. But it was a game, their latest game is a post-apocalyptic game set in Africa. And I was like, you never fucking see that. That's cool. So I must get to that at some point. But yes.
A post-apocalyptic game set in Africa.
Yeah.
Why do I get like Resident Evil vibes? I think it's Resident Evil 5.
Okay, no. This is made. This is made by South Africans, so not some people who were like, "What's in Africa?" I know, black people shaking spears. So
the perfect opposition.
Resident Evil 5 is not at all a racist game.
No, it's not. I mean, how could it be? It's perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Exactly. It was made by Japanese people. They can't be racist.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sure. It's. I mean, if you want, if you feel that works for you, then yeah. No comment. I think I'm just gonna stick with no comment.
That's what they all say, Tristan, but they're all liars. Well,
I think no comment is the safer option in this regard.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, then I think that's everything. Do you have anything to do the pluggings ofs?
Not from my side. My games are been put on hold. I got a job now. I'm working, so I haven't had time to actually continue. I did get further than what I was, but I'm nowhere near where I want to be.
Yeah. No, I understand. It happens.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. My videos, I've got my video coming out at the end of the month, but that's still like ages away. So, yeah. But I am returning to my favorite thing in the world, the Holy Bibli.
Oh, yes.
The Holy Bibli is returning at the end of the year, and then it's picking up on some new shit next year. So that should be fun.
That is actually very, very useful, because that leads us into a little special announcement.
No.
Yes, it does. It does. It is a special announcement. We do have something planned for the end of the year. What it is, we cannot say, but we do have a special coming out at the end of the year to kind of commemorate our first year of this podcast. I know all 9 of our subscribers are super excited, even though like 2 of you actually watch this. But yes, we do have a special plan for the end of the year, so we're not going to just leave you with a normal report. This won't be the last report, as I surmise we'll be doing another one somewhere around the 23rd.
Something like that.
Or maybe sooner. But
maybe.
We shall see. We're not going to leave you alone. This isn't the final for the year. It's just another video that we are concluding.
But so I'll just give a complete spoiler. It's going to be a sex tape. So Tristan and I were...
You betrayed me.
Fine.
You cut me deep.
We're fine. He's going to show me his world famous blowjob technique, which I've been looking forward to, Tristan. And I will show you my shibari skills.
Your what?
Shibari.
Sorry,
Japanese rope tying.
Oh, okay. There you see. You know things that I don't know.
See? I'll teach you many things. I'll teach you the ways of pleasure.
It will be a pleasure.
Well, then I believe that's everything. So yes, I think that's goodbye. Is it goodbye from you, Tristan?
It is indeed goodbye from me. Lovely folks of the internet, thank you very much for tuning in. This was a rather short video, but I hope you like it. There'll be more to come in future, and if we don't catch you this year, we'll catch you next year.
Exactly. And as per usual, I love you.
that wasn't so bad.